Hey, it's the first video of the summer. Can you believe that? I've been a little bit busy, but I got something new to show you here. I just saw this, just came across this bow, even though it's a year or two old. So this is going to be a kind of a bow review setup, and I'm not going through all the numbers and all that horse crap because that don't even matter. 40 pounds, 35 pounds kills an animal, no problem. But this is the Bear Adapt, and I believe it's the 2021 model, I think. Haven't really looked too far into it, but there's that new one that has the roller slide and stuff, and I might just get me another one. But I just got this because I saw it was a solo cam bow, and I haven't seen a new solo cam come out in a while. And it's a 32-inch axle-to-axle bow, and I'm just going to tell you a couple things what I did at first to set it up for my style. I shoot no sights, fingers. Watch out, bro. So basically I want to get one thing out of the way. First thing, I know it's a wide angle camera, we all know that, but it's easy to use. This is a 32 axle to axle. That does not mean that doesn't mean anything. What you need to go off of if you're thinking about shooting fingers or whatever, if that's even a concern, but it's not for me. I'll shoot anything with my fingers. Go off the top of your cam to the top of your wheel or your cam. It's right about 37 inches. So just call it a 37-inch long bow. Axle to axle don't mean squat except for setting your specs up. But see, it's nice and comfortable. I shoot split finger, and this bow comes back like butter. I got it backed out to about 51 pounds. This is a 60-pound limb bow. And how I set this up, so I put the whisker biscuit cut down on here, and I have the style, the old school biscuit, where I can lower the whole thing, and I have it down just above the shelf. You guys can look at that, see it for yourself. Cut the top of the biscuit off, and the arrow is lower to the shelf for better hand-eye coordination. But you can also just put in a NAP flipper rest and shoot it too. But this biscuit cut down is way more durable, and I just went to them because of the ease, and I know nothing's gonna break off of it. But in the past, I've shot the NAP flipper rest a bunch too. You just gotta watch what you're doing so you don't bend your little arm. So, be that as it may, you got to kind of forget about all your center shot and everything with this. So I said that was a 32. Now look here. This is just eyeball. I can basically see right here. Half a 32 is 16. So we're bringing that up, and dead center of the bow comes out to about the top of this shelf, not up here at the burger holes. These are all my theories, so take it how you want it. 16 inches lands about an 1/8 inch above the shelf of this bow, not up at the burger holes. So I set my rest up where I want it, and my arrow is just hovering barely above, maybe it might be 3/4 of an inch above the shelf. That's about where I have that at. That way it lines, it just feels good to me. And I've already shot this and tuned it in, and it's shooting absolutely perfect. So this is just for you guys if you want to do it. So whenever I get a new string for this bow, and if I reserve the string or put new center serving on it, which I'm going to, and I'll tell you why in a second. So I just do this for my own good. Run the bottom of this square at the bottom of the burger holes, and from there I'm 3/8 above center to the top of the nock. That would be your top knocking point, and that's just my reference. And that's what I'm going to go off of. And the only reason I'm going to reserve this, which I already tried with some 025, BCY stuff is because I shoot gold tip arrows, and the knock fit on this string, it's just way too sloppy. So I ordered some thicker serving. It should be in here soon, and I'm gonna do that. I gotta put some thicker stuff on. And while I was tuning this, I put only one knocking point on there, and I was shooting like 3 foot high, which I already knew why, but I just wanted to experiment and, you know, make sure I was correct. So when I was shooting, releasing it with my fingers, that knock was sliding down the string as it traveled, kicking the arrow up, pointing it in the arrow. So I put that bottom knock point on there. Holds it perfect. My bare shafts fly straight. I've shot a slick trick 4-blade out of it. That flew straight. And I'm shooting full length gold tip 340 arrows. One has 3-inch vanes, 3-inch AAE vanes, and the other one has the Blazer style vanes from AAE. They're a little more forgiving, and I just have no reason to switch. But I was going to take you outside and do a little bit of shooting with this thing, and I'm liking it. This thing shoots awesome. And like I said, I just saw that it was a newer solo cam that came out, which they're so smooth and forgiving to tune. With the solo cams, I found that shooting fingers, you always need to run your knock height a little higher. But a bare shaft will tell you what you got to do. You just move it to where it is, and that's it. And this is a 40 to 60 pound bow, I think. I don't know. I just got this thing yesterday. Let me look here. Yeah, 45 to 60 pound bow. Yep, and I'll take you outside and show you, but the knock. I did this video about axle to axle bows and shooting fingers a long time ago, but when you go to the shorter ATA bows, when you're shooting fingers, just start contouring your fingers to the angle of the string. Like your ring finger, you might have to take a little more pressure off that, and just, it might look like this. It's all about adapting to your equipment. And I don't want to just put on a D loop and shoot a release in the sight, because that's just not me, and I don't want to do it. I used to, but I don't really look for the easy way out. But this thing is a good finger shooting bow. I have not came across anybody that's shooting fingers with it. And everything I'm telling you is my scientific based experiment theories, which are facts, and they work, and they could work for you. There's one thing about this that I noticed when I rotate that, it's pushing the string out. So your brace height, if you're going to measure your brace, it's going to be 6.5 inches, which that's what it calls for. But if you got that string stop on there, it's going to be a little bit more. So don't forget to do that. I'll put one of my quivers on it. It's a good shooting bow. So let's head out into the yard and we'll take a few shots. I'll show you how the bare shafts fly, and you guys can decide for yourselves. If you haven't looked into it, there's a few videos on this of the mechanics of the bow, but it has this adjustable draw module on it, and it'll go out to 30.5 inches, 23.5 to 30.5. I think the setting on this, I have it right now, is at 30 inches, is what the chart says. Feels great. Let's go shoot it. Okay guys, I'm going to be out here on my knees. Just want to show you what I'm doing here. This is a Slick Trick Magnum 4-blade with the AAE vanes, HP vanes, that's what they call them, high profile. So we'll shoot that. I got a bare shaft. I just put the tape back there, and I weighed it out on my scale to about the same grain weight as the vanes to just simulate the right amount of weight. And it's shooting 125 grain point, no weight added. And I also like these. These are the AAE hybrids 3-inch or 3.2, whatever they are. I actually haven't even messed with a bunch of this stuff all summer long because I've been trying to get my truck and my new little Volkswagen car all in tip-top shape. So I mean, it's getting squirrel season about ready to open, so I'm just starting to mess around with bow stuff again. But normally all the archery information is at the tip of the tongue, ready to dispose of to people that want to know about it. But these are the Gold Tip Warrior 340s, and this is what I'm going to shoot. I actually shot so much yesterday with this bow that my fingers started hurting. So, and I got out an old mechanic's glove and I was shooting with it, which it don't affect nothing. And here's a regular field pointed arrow with the high profile vanes. So let's take a few shots. I know you're not going to be able to see as great as if I had out my big camera, but I'm going to shoot this bare shaft, and this is at exactly 20 yards. I'm going to shoot this bare shaft into the black target. I'm going to go just to the right of the knot in the open of the bag so you guys can see the flight and see how it sticks into the target. It flew damn near dead straight, a little knock high, which when I get my new serving in, I might lower that knocking point to get it more true. But it flew great, and these will too. I'm going to shoot this. Maybe you'll be able to see the flight of the white fletched arrow a little better. And here's another look at this that it messes with people. I still don't like the look of it, even though I know not to worry about the way it looks compared to the way it tunes. But if you look at that, it's going to look a little odd to some people in 2023 because everybody shoots a release and D-loop and sights and all that. And we're not talking dead level, true center shot. You adjust your bow to where your natural point of aim is and how it'll tune perfect, a perfect arrow. That's just how you do it. And I'm already confident with this thing. I was shooting it out to 50 yards and just putting them in there. And it's nice and graceful. My little scale says 50 to 51 pounds. I pulled it at 60 and it was cozy, but when it gets cold and stuff, there's just no reason for it. I shoot everything with around 50 pounds. So let's go for, I'll shoot at that knot, see if I can smoke that thing. Just barely to the right of it. I'm going to shoot at the knot again, but I'm going to move this camera right here. Then you can kind of see how I anchor with this thing. For all you bow lovers that want to go shoot fingers and go more primitive style. This is a basic old bear archery bow, and they done a really good job on this one. If I was bear, I would just keep running with this style and make sure it's available to people, because not everybody wants two big ass cams up here just shooting blistering speed. There's a lot of people that don't really care about that, and I'm one of them, because you really don't need it. It's not going to kill any better. It's not going to make you any more accurate. You just got to get out there and put in your time with the bow. And this is cozy. Like last year with my Oneida, that first deer of the year, I climbed out of my tree, dude, and I was backed up against this tree. I had that sucker at 48 pounds. Them does were about 20 yards. There were like 4 of them. And I drew that bow back just like this. And then I came up real slow. and killed her. Grace, and I hit the knot that time, which I'm going to walk up there and we'll have a look at that. Okay, the hip on that old deer target, I'm going to shoot it now with the slick trick. Yeah, for all you professionals out there, I know it is a wide-angled lens, but you know, I used this little GoPro filming all last year and it worked perfect. And it's more lightweight and I can be more mobile than carrying around my big old camera, because, I mean, you really don't need all of it. Little GoPro lets you see people's hunts and the outcome of them, and you tell your story, and it's all good for business. All right, center of the hip. I'm gonna get real steady and let's see what she does. The flight on that arrow, split finger, was so perfect. I see no side-to-side movement at all. Let's go down there and have a look. I won't even stop the camera. And there's my unit right there. Melissa's garden's doing good. There's the broadhead. I haven't shot a lot, but I shot yesterday. I was actually going for this little black dot. So that's no big deal. I'm gonna get with it. I'll shoot that bow, I'll shoot my Oneida. We'll be dead on. There's this one in the knot. There's that arrow, that flew great. And there's the way that stuck in there. So I'm gonna walk back up here. We'll shoot this bear shaft one more time, see if it mimics or gives the same results, just for the heck of it. But I'm gonna throw a big ass freaking Martin Super Quiver on here. And we're gonna go hunting with it. Tighten up your field point a little bit. And this year I'm gonna go with the QAD Exodus broadheads. I shot that last buck of the year with that broadhead with my Oneida, and it just blew right through it. That's the first time I ever shot him. The Exodus, it left a perfect triangle right through the pump station. Dude, he ran up there and just fell over. If you guys haven't checked out my stuff before, you can check that video out. It's somewhere there on the list of last year's deer hunts. So I don't know, we're gonna put the bear to work this year also. The old Bear Adapt. I just love it. Bear people, if you're watching this, just keep making this thing. It's so graceful and smooth to shoot. The grip on here is perfect. I mean, when I draw back, I always cut my hand around the grip, or sometimes I'll lay my fingers on there, and it don't want to torque one way or the other. Everything's just dead center true. It's awesome. This day and age, I have a hard time coming across bows like that just feel just right. Which my Oneidas they feel good. But the last wheel bow I shot was a Matthews no cam, and that was one of my favorite ones. But whenever I was shooting at steep angles and I'd draw back, the bow would want to torque hard to the left, so I'd have to grip that thing and bring it back. It was probably just the way it sat in my hand, which was no big deal. I know how to adjust for that, but that's something you guys need to look out for if you're having problems and you hit to the left or to the right when you're in the tree. Look, draw back and get anchored, then just pull your head back and look how the bow's sitting. It might be cocked one way or another just because of the angle or the way you're holding it. So you got to be able to adapt to the situation and overcome. Here, let's stick this bear shaft in here. I'll get to rattle and spewing a lot of bow information. And that arrow, here, that arrow, if you could see it, I'll edit it to where you might be able to see it, but it's gonna be hard either way. That thing flew like dead perfect, which it's just me shooting bare fingers coming off of this thing. But here, let's walk straight up to it. There you have it. I thought I'd give this to you guys. If you're looking for a bow, a wheel bow like this, then I would say that's a cozy one. Or check you out an Oneida. Pull my arrows out of here. I love them slick tricks, but I'm gonna go with the Exodus broadheads this year. Now, I also shot Severs, but you know my favorite are the fixed broadheads, and that's the way to go. Best penetration, always have the best luck with them. It's almost time to get ready for hunting season, boys and girls. So hey, I'll see you on the next one. I'll see what I can come up with. I'm gonna work on getting me a quiver on my new Bear Adapt, and I might even just buy me one of them new ones in the Bottomlands camo, just because they shoot so good, and I can. So hey, we'll see you later. Get out there, shoot your bows, and get ready to shoot some squirrels here soon. It's almost time to go stalking.